A strange incident on Mount Uhud in Saudi Arabia. Even the Saudi king arrived. Watch the video before it gets deleted. Peace be upon you, viewers. An unusual and strange incident occurred on Mount Uhud. Bodies everywhere. What happened on Mount Uhud that even Mohammed bin Salman had to arrive? But before we proceed with the video, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so that you're notified of every new video. Friends, a strange incident occurred on Mount Uhud. Before we explain the incident in detail, let's first tell you where Mount Uhud is located and why the Saudi king had to go there. Friends, Mount Uhud is a mountain located to the north of Medina, Saudi Arabia. It is 1,077 meters, 3,533 feet tall. This is the site of the second battle between the Muslims and the polytheists of Mecca. Imam Bukhari narrates that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, once climbed Mount Uhud with Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman. The mountain began to tremble, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, struck his foot on the mountain and said, "O Uhud, be still. Upon you is a prophet, a truthful one, and 2 martyrs." The Prophet was referring to himself as the Prophet, Abu Bakr as the truthful one, and Umar and Uthman as the 2 martyrs. And indeed what the Prophet, peace be upon him, said came true. Uhud is the mountain about which the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "We love it, and it loves us." The martyrs of the Battle of Uhud are buried there, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, would visit their graves regularly to greet and pray for them. Uhud is one of the 4 mountains of paradise. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also said that Mount Uhud is one of the pillars of paradise. Friends, the discovery of bodies on Mount Uhud was extraordinary. This story begins when a Pakistani pilgrim, Abdul Manan, visited Mount Uhud. He was accompanied by many other pilgrims. They offered prayers upon reaching the mountain. Abdul Manan said that it was evening by the time they arrived at Mount Uhud. Abdul Manan, being a lover of the Prophet, PBUH, was overcome with emotion as he remembered the events of the Battle of Uhud and the companions who were buried nearby. He recited prayers for them and sat down to recite salutations on the Prophet, peace be upon him. After that, he got up and moved toward an open field where many pilgrims were resting. Suddenly, the sky darkened. Black clouds quickly covered the sky, as if night had fallen. Abdul Manan looked up at the sky, and so did the other pilgrims. A cold, strong wind began to blow, causing the dust of the mountain to rise. The wind was so cold that the people started shivering. It seemed like a dust storm was forming, but the strange thing was that the dust only rose from one specific area. The dust eventually settled, revealing a pit. The storm had stopped, but the faces and eyes of the people were covered in dirt. When the dust settled, they looked into the pit and screamed. There were several unknown graves, as if bodies had been buried recently. The staff present were also shocked. Someone had killed women and children and buried them there. When Prince Salman heard of this, he arrived at the site. After investigating, it was found that some vagabonds would stop passing cars at night, assault the women, and bury them in that field. Even children were not spared. Prince Salman took the matter seriously, increased nighttime security, and ordered the execution of the criminals. Their heads were cut off in public as a warning to others. The uncovering of the bodies by the windstorm was a sign from Allah revealing this hidden crime. However, some people are claiming that this news is fake since it has not been verified by many sources. Allah knows best. Friends, we will now share with you some information about Mount Uhud that you may not have heard before. Mount Uhud is considered one of the most significant places associated with the life of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, especially due to the Battle of Uhud, which took place in the 3rd year of Hijri. The Prophet, peace be upon him, referred to it as a mountain that loves us and that we love. It is a unique and revered site. May Allah protect all Muslims and grant them the opportunity to visit such sacred places. Ameen. O Allah, Lord of the heavens and the earth, I ask you, by your infinite mercy and boundless grace, to grant me wealth that is pure, abundant and blessed. O Allah, bless me with lawful provisions and means of sustenance, and let it be a source of goodness for me, my family, and the community around me. O Allah, you are Al-Ghani, the self-sufficient, the rich, and I am your humble servant in need of your bounty. I turn to you alone, for you are the sustainer of all that exists. Enrich my life with your blessings and provide for me in ways I could never imagine. O Allah, expand my sustenance with the ease and halal, lawful, means that bring me closer to you. Protect me from the trials of poverty and make my wealth a means to earn your pleasure. Keep my heart grateful, humble and mindful of those in need. O Allah, grant me wealth that brings ease in my affairs, that allows me to serve you better, and that gives me the strength to fulfill my responsibilities toward my family, community, and all those who are dependent on me.